Olá a todos, fala Francisco Mourão, coordenador da Exopolítica Portugal, e venho aqui fazer uma breve introdução a uma mini entrevista que fizemos a Stephen Greer. Como sabem, Stephen Greer virá a Portugal no início do mês de setembro, numa organização de Dora Martinez, Pinto. No dia 3 estará no ISCTE para uma palestra aberta ao público e uns dias mais tarde irá para o Alentejo com um grupo de pessoas previamente inscritas para a prática dos protocolos de contacto CE5. Nesta conversa que tivemos com ele via Skype, o objetivo era que ele nos desse uma luz sobre aquilo que as pessoas podem esperar ao participar nestes dois eventos, sendo que no Alentejo, obviamente, as inscrições já estão fechadas, já se atingiu o limite de participantes, mas de qualquer das formas as pessoas podem, no fundo, também ter uma ideia, no caso de quererem participar um dia no futuro. Para a palestra, aquilo que Stephen Greer nos veio dizer é que irá basicamente abordar o trabalho que foi feito ao longo dos últimos 2-3 anos no projeto Serious Disclosure. Serão apresentados alguns documentos inéditos e irá abordar um pouco da questão dos contactos que tem feito com alguns elementos do governo europeu e dar também umas luzes sobre o que é isto dos protocolos de contacto, o uso da consciência, como sermos embaixadores, no fundo, de contacto. Infelizmente, por questões técnicas, não nos foi possível conseguir gravar o início da nossa conversa, portanto aquilo que vão ouvir será já, não é bem o fim, mas a partir do meio da conversa. Vamos ouvir e esperamos vê-los a todos no dia 3. Qualquer informação que queiram obter, ou se quiserem ainda inscrever-se para os poucos lugares que ainda há disponível, podem ir tanto à página da Exopolítica Portugal, podem escrever exopolitica.pt, ou procurem no Facebook e com certeza irão por Stephen Greer em Portugal e vão ter com certeza, vão ser redirecionados para uma página de inscrição. De qualquer das formas, em exopolitica.pt tem lá as indicações todas de como procederem ainda à inscrição. Obrigado a todos e vamos então ouvir Stephen Greer.
Everyone likes your job, your work so far, and we are expecting lots of people there to hear you. Also, I know you're also doing a retreat in Alentejo. Can you tell us something about that?
Well, one of the things that we do, and of course people can learn about this at our website, seriousdisclosure.com, SIRIUS disclosure.com, is to train people to become ambassadors from humanity to these civilizations using some very advanced concepts in contact, including consciousness and understanding the non-locality of trans-dimensional physics. So this week-long expedition is a gathering of people from all over the world, and it's an intensive. And during the afternoon, we really focus on the capabilities of remote viewing, of understanding how interstellar civilizations go from one point in space to another, how their communication systems work, how their manufacturing systems work, what is the nature of reality if you can go beyond the speed of light. And so that becomes really essential, because if you want to go out under the stars and initiate contact, you at least have to have an understanding of what it is you're contacting. And a lot of people confuse, and I think this is an endemic problem in the UFO subculture, as sort of a nuts and bolts approach. But if things were purely material, they couldn't go beyond the speed of light. So you have to understand the physics of what happens when something reaches what I call the crossing point of light, where it goes beyond three-dimensional space-time into other dimensions, and then how it appears in our 3D world when it is stepping down out of a higher dimension into this dimension. And the physics of it is really very specific. There's a great deal of science that, although it's not commonly talked about, that where there's an interface between consciousness and non-locality in physics, meaning that there's an aspect of the physical cosmos which isn't limited to 3D and goes into these other dimensions, which are increasingly conscious and intelligent. so that when you're talking about these extraterrestrial civilizations, you're dealing with civilizations whose technologies interface directly with coherent thought, with consciousness, with their bioelectric field, and how that kind of communication happens through electronics as well as through consciousness. So we focus a great deal on that during the afternoons, and then at night, every night we go out under the stars. I'm hoping that we'll see stars, it'll be clear, and we practice these techniques and create the dynamic of a coherent team to make contact. And some of what I will be presenting in Lisbon at my lecture will be some of the images of some of these contact events that have happened all over the world, and which have not really been seen by people very much. Most of them did not make their way into the film Sirius, and I think it's important for people to understand, because a lot of people have had contact and they didn't understand what was happening during the contact, and so we want to put that in some context so people have a deep understanding of, well, as Dr. J. Allen Hynek said, the high strangeness aspect of extraterrestrial contact, and all the different phenomena that occur when an extraterrestrial object or intelligence is very close to us. And these include not only physical manifestations, but electromagnetic, magnetic field disturbances, gravitational field changes, and objects that are seen, and then objects that are invisible, but which have an effect in the environment even though they're not fully materialized. And this gets into the science of transdimensional physics. What, can an object that is interstellar be hovering around you, and you cannot see it with the naked eye, and it is not solid, but it begins to have some effect that you can sense and pick up with various electronic devices, as well as other phenomena. And that's what I want people to begin to understand in terms of over the course of a week. My objective is that everyone would leave with being fully able to be an ambassador from humanity to these civilizations, which many people don't understand that the initial project I founded was the Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, because we'd already done a review of the literature. By the 1960s, there was enough overt proof that we were not alone, and that there were plenty of thousands of cases of these objects that had landed, left physical traces, radar cases, etc. And so I concluded that it was really time for us to go from a retrospective research model, looking backwards and investigating events that had already happened, to creating teams of people to actively make contact. And now we have tens of thousands of teams all over the world that are doing this in every continent, and I believe every country now, who are part of the Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind initiative, or CE5 initiative, when humans go out to initiate contact. And I think this is really important from the point of view of understanding higher consciousness, where these civilizations that are visiting this planet are waiting for humans to behave in a way that is peaceful and coherent and meaningful. And the more that people get together to do this, the more it sends the signal to these interstellar civilizations that we're ready for further and more open contact. So I always tell people who are asked the question, why don't they land on the White House lawn? I say, well, perhaps they're waiting for a critical mass of humans to be enlightened and mature enough so that they will. Not that they will land on the White House lawn. But I think the ball is in our court, and it's a message of empowerment that people need to take this upon themselves to form contact teams. And also, in terms of disclosure, the ultimate ending of secrecy is when enough people around the world are doing this, and these extraterrestrial civilizations respond in such a way that there is no covert military force on Earth that could keep it quiet. And I think we're going to be reaching that point before long. And this is, by the way, the 25th anniversary of our founding ISCTE and the CE5 initiative. So it's really exciting that we'll be in Portugal doing this for a week for our 25th anniversary.
It looks amazing, and I hope I can do it sometime in the near future. Thank you so much, Dr. Greer. We're hoping and expecting with great anticipation you're coming to Portugal, and I hope to see you there on the 3rd of September. Thank you so much.
It'll be a pleasure to meet you. I look forward to meeting all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.